Welcome to a life-changing adventure where we break free from the cycle of financial hardship and embrace a life of plenty and contentment today. Our focus is on stopping the cycle of being broke with these 10 life-changing Stoic principles. We're not just talking about breaking free from the bonds of financial restraints. We're also starting a profound transformation of thought and spirit. These values are about bringing in a new era of prosperity, inner serenity, and constructive living rather than just focusing on collecting cash. You'll view your life in a new way at the end of this film, not simply with regard to your finances. Your life is about thriving, flourishing, and snatching the happiness you deserve. So why not watch it? Lesson 1. As we set out on the path of personal accountability, we reach our second and most important principle. Stop monitoring your own growth in the spirit of Stoicism. Our clarion call to pursue development and improvement is as natural and necessary as a tree's upward and outward spread. Unceasing self-improvement. What does it really mean to develop oneself? It's a life-changing process that entails spending time and energy learning new things, honing your abilities, developing your talents, and generally feeling better about yourself. Consider yourself as a piece of software that is always changing and in need of updates to remain useful in a world that is changing all the time. One major obstacle on this route is the alluring comfort zone. It's a comfortable, well-known environment where security frequently passes for stagnation. The saying goes, a comfortable zone is a beautiful place, but nothing ever grows there. In Stoic philosophy, going beyond this zone is like diving into a vibrant river, where the currents may challenge you, but they will also energize and propel you towards growth and transformation. Personal development is a basic requirement rather than an indulgence. The courage to step outside of your comfort zone and start a lifetime learning adventure is necessary since the world is always changing, and stopping learning would be like swimming with sharks. Lesson 2. Beyond the fundamental guideline of living within one's means, we reach the fourth and most important guideline is to stop monitoring your financial health while the saying ignorance is bliss is true. While it's true that ignorance frequently leads to distress and chaos in the Stoic tradition, wisdom is a cornerstone, and this includes having a profound awareness of one's financial state. Many of us are prone to ignoring our financial realities out of sheer fear, embarrassment, or carelessness. Recognizing your financial condition, regardless of how dire it may seem, is the crucial first step toward control and improvement. Imagine your finances as a neglected garden that grows overrun with weeds and bugs and changes from a place. Although first intimidating, having a true understanding of your financial flow creates the foundation for stability and growth. Ignoring your financial condition frequently results in bad money management techniques. Lack of understanding of your financial situation can lead to careless investing choices, excessive spending, and insufficient saving. Lesson 3. The sixth principle, which calls for separating riches from happiness, is a critical milestone that we will soon reach in our journey toward a satisfying existence. This insight represents a critical turning point in our journey. The idea that having riches equals happiness and that having more goods makes one happier is something that society ingrains in us. However, this perception is false. Capon that is really distant from reality, Stoicism, which is based on reason and virtue, presents an incredibly different viewpoint. It holds that virtue, not wealth, is the source of true happiness. You might be wondering how virtue and wealth are related. Stoicism believes that the ultimate good and the real source of happiness is virtue, which is embodied by wisdom, courage, justice, and self-discipline. Contrary to the elusive and external nature of wealth, virtue is something we can control. It's not about the stuff we accumulate. Rather, it's about the essence of our character and the integrity of our lives. Take into consideration the disparate accounts of millionaires who struggle with dissatisfaction and regular people who lead happy, fulfilling lives. The source of happiness is not wealth. Rather, it is found in the depth of our deeds, in the richness of our character. Lesson 4, the quiet voices of self-doubt. Have you ever been on the verge of making a decision only to have it pulled back? These quiet voices ask, am I good enough? What if I fail? They are the hidden voices in our minds that push us back from our potential, even though it's tempting to voice these fears in the hopes that someone will disagree. A Stoic knows how important it is to keep things hidden, if only until they are properly acknowledged and addressed. After all, your concerns are not about outside happenings, but rather your own assessments of them. This insight, which comes from the ancient Stoic corridors, implies that facing our inner critics rather than projecting them forth can be a life-changing event. Particularly in its current form, frequently has the ability to amplify our fears. You communicate self-doubt, and all of a sudden a plethora of contradictory advice appears, adding to the uncertainty. Rather, think about adopting a different strategy and interacting with these whispers. There is unmatched power in cherishing solitude, especially when taming the unruly voices of self-doubt. They need your undivided attention, not the world's. First, mend the leaks in a boat privately. Lesson 5. Your goals for the future. Have you ever experienced another person's keeping your future plans with a quiet dignity instead of letting them become dinner table gossip is incredibly empowering. Your ambitions, dreams, and aspirations are yours to cherish, and by withholding certain details, you preserve an air of mystery and unpredictability. Even if everyone is so willing to give these days, there is still value in holding onto your cards. Napoleon Bonaparte was a military genius of the highest caliber, but his overconfidence revealed his plans and underestimated his opponents. History is full of examples of people who prematurely boasted about their plans only to watch them crumble. Similar to how business moguls like Howard Hughes were infamous for keeping their ventures under wraps so that rivals were always one step ahead, this story teaches us about the power of unpredictability and the strategic advantage of discretion. Today, social media platforms tempt us to announce our intentions at every turn, but Stoicism serves as a reminder that there are benefits to taking a more measured approach and stepping back. Lesson 6. Areas where you are weak and vulnerable. Every hero is said to have a weakness or an Achilles heel, which despite their strength, has the potential to bring them to ruin since, in their wonderfully flawed nature, humans are made up of both strengths and vulnerabilities. These weaknesses, the raw, vulnerable areas of our psyche, should be shielded from harm rather than exposed. It's important to treat them with the respect they deserve, rather than ignoring or concealing them. That not only characterizes, but how we see them. Accepting our vulnerabilities is crucial because they are reminders of past hurts, lessons learned, and even fear of future conflicts. They are also deeply personal, and if we publicly acknowledge them, it can sometimes distort how we understand or accept them. However, by keeping these points to ourselves, we strengthen our defenses against exploitation or misunderstanding, and it gives us the opportunity to work on them, to turn them from areas of weakness into areas of growth. Lesson 7. Grievances you personally have. They state it's a bit reminiscent of Epictetus, who once mused that it's not things that upset us, but our judgment about things. Consider this. When you share every annoyance or frustration, you're not only perpetuating negativity, but also subtly seeking validation for your feelings by holding back. Carrying grudges is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to perish. It's a heavy weight on the shoulders, a constant murmur in your ear, and most of the time a pointless endeavor. However, choosing to process personal grievances as a Stoic promotes inner equilibrium and self-mastery. Think about the tragic tale of Alexander Hamilton and Owen Burr. Their long-standing personal and public grudges culminated in a deadly duel, for which both men paid a heavy price. Hamilton lost his life, while Burr lost his reputation and subsequently his own melancholy reflection on his decisions. Lesson 8. Your individual accomplishments and triumphs. There's a quiet joy in accomplishing a goal, no matter how big or small, yet the fast-paced nature of today's world frequently forces us to share these moments. However, the Stoic path encourages us to value and accept our accomplishments within rather than looking for external validation. This is because internal validation is more durable than external validation, which can occasionally dilute the significance of genuine accomplishments, turning important life milestones into mere topics of conversation. This is a call to action, not to lessen the happiness that comes from celebrating victories with loved ones. Enough to understand that not every victory requires a public celebration. It's about understanding the distinction between sharing happiness and looking for approval when we fully accept and value our own development and accomplishments. Lesson 9. The silent aspirations of your heart. Have you ever come upon a small, seemingly unimportant object that caused your heart to race? Maybe you had a dream that had a tiny personal wish to pick up a new instrument, or maybe to dance in the rain. These kinds of desires frequently come true, whispers that are easily lost in the din of our everyday existence. It's normal to want to share these fleeting moments and these tiny ambitions with others. A small voice tells us to do so, and most of the time we do. However, voicing these dreams too soon may result in them being crushed by the unsolicited opinions of others. Not everyone will be able to relate to your desire to pick up the ukulele. Lesson 10. Your personal development. When a caterpillar cocoons, a profound transformation takes place inside that is visible to the outside world. Imagine if that caterpillar felt the need to announce every little step it took to improve itself. It wouldn't just be distracting, it might even impede its metamorphosis. Similar to this natural marvel, there is an unquestionable holiness in keeping the specifics of one's own growth and development to themselves. Self-awareness is a treasure, but here's the thing. Not all treasures are meant to be seen. Others are meant to be felt and heard deep inside oneself. Now, this isn't meant to promote complete quiet. Sharing can be therapeutic, even inspiring for others, but the Stoics emphasize the value of introspection over declarations of wisdom. Notice that he didn't say, keep telling everyone how you live, but rather, as long as you live, keep learning how to live. As we come to the end of our study of the 10 Stoic principles, it is evident that each of these tenets offers more than just financial guidance. Rather, they are pathways to a life of fulfillment, wisdom, and contentment. From practicing gratitude to living within our means, these principles encourage us to look inward, take responsibility, and find joy and value in the simpler, more meaningful aspects of life. Remember, however, that these principles are not just theories. They are practical steps that can lead you towards a more fulfilling and financially stable life. Therefore, I urge you to do more than just listen. Instead, start small and implement one of these principles in your day-to-day activities. Start incorporating it into your daily life to see the changes that occur in your personal and financial life. Additionally, this is a call to action for our community on YouTube. If you found these concepts valuable, please show your support by hitting the like button. Your likes contribute to the valuable knowledge being shared with others who could find it useful. If you have any thoughts or experiences related to these principles, please leave a comment below. Together, let's start a conversation and share knowledge. Lastly, if you haven't already, please think about subscribing to the channel. By doing so, you'll join a community that is focused on financial wisdom and personal growth, and you'll be updated with more insightful content like this.